Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addicted makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. Now, I really enjoy eyeshadow singles, duochromes, multichromes, blush, highlight, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter, and today I'm going to be walking you through all of my favorite neutral and colorful palettes for summer. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me. We're getting into it right now. This is going to be a long video. I'm so sorry in advance. But I'm so excited. I went through and I was like pulling palettes like, yes, this gives me the summer vibes, this gives me the summer vibes. And before I knew it, I had like a whole case of eyeshadow that I wanted to talk about, that I needed to talk about. So I want to make sure that I get through everything. I'm going to start with the neutral stuff, I think, and then move into color, because we all know I started in neutral and now I do color and pretty much only color. But there are still some neutral palettes that really like give me all the feels. I wanted to start with the palette that gave me the inspiration for this video and was literally the whole purpose why I bought this palette, and that was the Natasha Denona Bronze palette. I'm so sorry for how fingerprinty it is, but it looks like this. This color story gives me like sunburned on the beach vibes, like gonna go lay down and take a nap real quick, wake up all toasty warm and like put on some aloe and then figure out what I'm doing for dinner. That's the vibe that I get every time I open this palette, and I get so excited to use it. Like, it's that quintessential warm toned neutral palette. And you even have these two shades here that are like, you would think they were cool, but they still kind of give off this like burnt warmth that I just think makes the palette very cohesive. I really was so happy that I was able to get this palette, and I can't wait to use it a little bit more over the summer. When I got it, it was like winter time, so I wasn't really like heading for these tones, but now that we're heading into summer, I'm like super excited for it. So that definitely was the inspiration for this video, and I can't wait to tell you what else I found in my collection. This one is unfortunately limited edition and it is no longer sold, but it is the Odin's Eye and it's Judy Red Dragon palette, which, like, look at this packaging. Like, oh, so pretty. All of these little shimmery pieces are like hollow. I love that. And then inside you have this color story here. This is such a beautiful color story. You do have these kind of two like pea green shades, but again, I get some of the similar vibes as the Natasha Denona palette in that it has kind of that like sunburnt warmth to it. Really pretty shades. You've got really light to really deep shades, and the shimmers in here are beautiful. You do also have one multi-chrome, which I think is that one, or it might be this one actually, I'm not sure. Because of the textures and the finishes of this palette, the colors look so stunning on the lids. You will not be disappointed with a palette like that, that's for sure. So if you have it, definitely break it out for summertime. Alright, one that might be a little easier to get your hands on would be the ColourPop Limoncello palette, and this is a personal favorite of my husband's. I absolutely love the design and everything for this one. Like, sign me up twice. I really like the color story though. I think this pop of like marigold yellow, and then the pop of these shades here, like this really dark, almost plummy brown. You have a little bit of blue, a little bit of green, and this beautiful kind of yellow gold shade without being like a true gold. I really appreciate. There's not many palettes that have like a metallic yellow that is not gold. So I really like when that shows up in a palette. I think this makes beautiful looks. Every time I've put something together, my husband really likes it. So this one is definitely a winner for me for summer. This one reminds me of a girls trip that I had with one of my friends. Emily, if you're watching, hey girl, hey, you know what I'm about to show, and it is the BH Mimosa palette. And it looks like this, super bright, super tropical. Oh, hold on. There we go. This one is like super bright and tropical. Again, you have this kind of like warm kind of mango toned shade that is a metallic. It's really pretty on the lids, and I love that it's not just like a true gold. You have some kind of pretty pinks here. You've got some pops of like yellowy orange shades, and you've even got something that will give you a little bit of depth. It's not going to be a super deep eye look. It's not going to give you smoky tones for sure, but I do think this makes a really pretty color story. Ugh, the metallics in that one are bomb. Alright, and then this was a gift from my mom actually, and I was so shocked that she picked out something that I didn't already own, because I own so much makeup. But she picked me out the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. Ugh, I love the way the light like plays off the front of this. and I'll show you the inside. It looks like this. I love how smoky this is. I love the depth that you get here. This like kind of metallic-y, olivey toned yellow. Just every time I use this palette, I have to use that shade because I really, really like it. And the way that this shows up without having like a true gold in it, I really appreciate, because even though this one looks very golden in pan, on the eye, I feel like it still has kind of that like yellowy chartreusey cast to it that makes it not just that stereotypical bright yellow gold. So I really like how this one looks. I would definitely have liked like one more really dark shade over here, like an almost black, but yeah, because like I don't need 3 transition shades up here. But I do really like that palette. I think it's very, very pretty. Another palette that I really was excited to pick up was the Bronzed and Glow from Revolution Pro, and this one gives me such summertime vibes. This variety of these palettes was supposed to be duping the Pat McGrath palettes, the 125 palettes. I don't know if this one specifically dupes any of those. If it does, you'll have to let me know in a comment down below, but I don't think that it does. They have a pink toned version of this one too, which is quite nice. But I really like these. I think it just has those kind of like warm, smoky, sultry notes. It makes a perfect smoky eye. And you have a black in this one, which I really appreciate. The only thing I don't like is the shade names. Like, I hate that. I hate that so much. Alright. And then one that I just could not overlook for vacation summertime vibes was the Desi and Katie Dose of Colors collection. Like, this palette, first of all, just looks like a vacation. And then this is the color story inside. It's got those really like kind of warm pinky neutral tones, and then you've got these really like these 3 pretty pops of color, this like smoky black metallic, you've got this kind of blue purple duochrome metallic, and then this very olivey green, which I think was called like Dirty Money or something. Yeah, Dirty Money. Perfect name for that eyeshadow color. This is a really pretty one. The only thing I wish is that we had one shade that was a little bit darker than this to make something really, really smoky, but I do still think it's really pretty and makes a great travel palette because you get some neutrals, you get some pops, you have this bomb packaging, and it's pretty like thin, easy to carry. I know this one has sold out for a while though, so hopefully Dose will give us something else that gives us the vacation vibes. Alright, and then Too Faced made these little palettes, and I actually bought these when I was on vacation. Well, not this. No, I'm sorry. Not this one, but I bought these two while I was on vacation, and so I think that's part of what gives me the summer vibes for these. This is the Razzle Dazzle Berry, and it smells like raspberry, which I really like, of course. And then we've got this pineapple, what is this called? Sparkling Pineapple, which looks like this. Again, that like warm toned neutral goodness. And then this one is Papaya Pop, and it looks like this. And they just have this really pretty metallic formula that is like so blinding, and each of them comes with like a duochrome. So you can see in this one it's kind of this pinky orange shade here on my middle finger, but the metallic formula in these is like unmatched. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know why I chose to swatch there. That was a really odd place. Can't explain it. But those would be the neutral palettes that really like get me going for summertime vibes. Now we're going to move into color because there's so much color to talk about. The first and cutest and probably newest is this one. This is the Wait and See Pressed Powder Palette from ColourPop. And yes, I do have the 9 pan. Yes, that will be coming up shortly, but that's what this one looks like. I love the depth in here. Like the 2 mattes that they used, I think play off each other and blend together really nicely, and they give you kind of that mid-tone shade so you're not lacking that. The 2 metallics, this one is definitely more like a satin metallic, and then this one is like this true kind of duochrome blue to gold metallic. Very pretty. Every time I wear this one, I'm always so happy. It looks so summery. It's all the vibes. And then the other one that I really like that's a little quad is the Hello Kitty one. This is the Pineapple Cake palette, again from ColourPop, and it looks like this. I had picked up the Midas Cosmetics Lemonade palette thinking that it was going to be similar to this one and being able to like dupe it out, but that palette was so old, so dry, that I couldn't even try to do a comparison. But the shade that I love in here the most is this one right here. This like really bright gold, almost white shade. It looks so beautiful. This is all bright, mid-tone, nothing deep, nothing dark. But this looks really pretty, and I love every time that I use it, I just get like all the summer vibes. Another really great one for summer is the Emily Violet Marie and Clio Cosmetics A Dragon Fruit palette. Now this one is all shimmers, so this one is a really great companion palette for the other palettes that I'm going to be showing you. It has all these beautiful duochromes, satins, metallics, multichromes. The two multichromes in here are these two shades, so you get this enormous shade here, and then you also get this shade over here. Really, really pretty finishes. Every time I do a look with this, I'm always super happy with it, so I had to include it as like a great summertime palette. Plus, like the packaging on this with like the pink like acrylic, I mean, this just like screams summer to me. Another palette that I picked up in summer, and so I think again that's why it gives me the summertime vibes, is the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette. I don't think they sell this one anymore. It comes in and out of stock, so you may see it eventually come back, but it looks like this, and I just love you have these like really warm shades here. You've got kind of these like mossy, swampy shades here, and then you've got sort of your softer blues and teals up here. I know it looks like I haven't used this very much, but I've gone into this row and this row frequently. I really like this. I think it does give me all the summer feels. The other one that definitely flows along that same line is the Ace Beauté Tropical Vibes palette. I just picked this one up recently when they had, I think they had like a 30% off sale, and I picked this one up because I wanted to try the new shimmer formula, which I really like. If you have any of their old shimmers, you know that they weren't nearly as like buttery. These are more like the Glam Light shimmers now. They're really, really buttery. Let me see, can I get that to focus? There we go. Yes, very buttery. I like it, I like it. And I love this kind of like olivey toned gold here as well. You've got some really pretty warm toned mattes here, lots of mattes to work with. So whenever I put a look together with this, I'm never disappointed. I like this shade so, so much, let me tell you. And there's that one swatched out so you can just see how beautiful that metallic formula is. Alright, we'll do some little palettes next. This is the Wild Python palette from Huda Beauty, and you can see the like subtle print there. I love that. I know that's so stupid, but I think that's so cool. And the inside looks like this. I really do like the shimmers in here. The mattes, I feel like I need more mattes than what I'm given for this particular palette, so I wish there was a little bit more cohesive mattes, because I feel like these three didn't necessarily need to be there. Like you could have given me some blues and swampy greens and I would have been just fine, but we had to throw some pinky neutrals in there because it's Huda. So I really like the shimmers in this one. I tend to skip over the mattes or use them kind of as transition mattes and then pull deeper things from other palettes. And here, as promised, is the ColourPop High Tide. Oh my gosh, when this released, I literally like quit brunch so I could go buy this from Ulta because I was so excited for this palette. This color story is so pretty. Every time I use it, I am in love with the eye look that I get. This duochrome down here is like a really like swampy, murky brown to a blue, and it just looks so pretty on the lid. Like, it just cannot be beat. Let me see here. Yeah. Like you can see how dark it gets and then how much it like picks up. Oh, it's so beautiful. I like working with this one a lot. Definitely gives me summer vibes for sure. The other one that gives me summer vibes from ColourPop is the In the Limelight. Now, I kind of got on so-so with this palette. It definitely gives me that like summer vibe, but I feel like some of the shimmers are too similar, and I feel like the mattes, like these two mattes and this one, not only are these two too similar, but they also are not bright enough to really show up on the eye. I need to try this one again using like a white base instead of like a skin tone base and see if that makes a difference, because I would really like to get more use out of this palette, but I do think it gives me kind of that summer vibe. I mean, you got the palm trees. I mean, it's a whole thing. The What If I Fall But Oh Darling What If You Fly Warrior palette from Sugar Drizzle. I personally don't care for their packaging, like the artwork, too much, but the actual palette inside gives me all the summer vibes. We've got beautiful blues, a couple greens, this really pretty yellow color here, and these two are actually like really strong duochromes, so they look really pretty on the lid, but they definitely flash like a different color. Like you'll see this green, you think it's a green, but it also has like a really strong pink to it. So you can see like pink, you know. It's so cool. Like, I think it's just a really cool palette. I love the finishes in this one, so definitely gives me summer vibes for sure. Can I stop saying vibes? Do not take a drink every time I say vibes. I don't know what's wrong with me. The Clarity Cosmetics Evil Mermaid palette also screams summer. You've got some really beautiful blues in here. You've got this, it almost has like an olivey pewter like type tinge to it, but then at other angles it has like this kind of fuchsia sparkle in it. It's such an interesting and dynamic shade. I really like it paired with any of the mattes in this particular palette, so I would definitely recommend this one for summer for sure. Plus, like, look at this package. I mean, like, look at this packaging. It's like, how do you argue with packaging like that? One of the other super new palettes to my collection and to this summer video would be this one 2 palette from Odin's Eye, and this one looks like this. You have all these really pretty like cool tones and then like a pop of brights down here, which still kind of lean on the cool side, but I think because of how colorful they are and because of the dynamic nature of the shimmers in here, you can get away with all of this for summer. This center shade here is this really pretty duochrome. It has like this really sparkly kind of glittery finish without being a pressed glitter, and I really like how that looks paired with all of the other shimmers in this palette, paired with the mattes in this palette. I did a look using this shade in the inner corner and then these shades, this one and this one, in sort of the outer portion of my crease, and it looked so pretty at work. I was really liking that one, so this one definitely for me is a good summer palette. And it's funny because some of these palettes, they like scream summer to me in terms of the color story, and some of them it's just like the memories that I have are all summer for these palettes, so they definitely make it into the collection for different reasons. Next one up is the Sugar Drizzle Manila Frogs palette, and it looks like this. Oh, it's starting to seep more oil. Oh well. So I originally picked this palette up and I was so happy to get this one. I love all the blues and the greens. There's some purple flips in here that are really pretty and dynamic. This type of formula is similar to like some of the Gourmand Girls palettes, some of the Pastel Roses UK, It's Belle. They all have this really creamy, buttery duochrome type formula, and it does predispose you to having these like oil leaks around the pans. Personally, I'm not going to get too beat up over that because I just love the color story so much, but if that bothers you, just be forewarned. But like this shade is called Leap. And if that doesn't make you just want to like leap right up and go buy that palette, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm already like, can I take off this eyeshadow look without ruining the face makeup and just put that all over my lid because I want to? Like, ugh, so pretty. Old school summertime palette for sure. The Riviera palette, which I'm sure most people don't even still have in their collection because everybody hated on this palette. They hated it. But I thought it was really cool. I like the matte white in here. This shade here and this shade here have such interesting undertones that I have not been able to replicate anywhere else, and that's why I keep this palette. I also really like this blue, and this neon pink is like unmatched. So when I come in here, I basically come in here for the blue, the pink, this kind of pewtery purple shade, this deep purple, and this blue. But I do think it's worth keeping the palette for those shades because they are such good quality. And I mean, it's Riviera. It gives me the vibes of being out on the like boat and just relaxing, and the sun on your face, the wind in your hair. Like, I'm trying not to say vibes, you guys, but it's a vibe. Alright, and then this one is the Wet n Wild Nautical Nonsense palette, which is a really fun palette. I personally don't give two figs about SpongeBob, but I thought this color story was really pretty. I was very drawn to like these two shades, these two rows here, and this really pretty really intense kind of like golden champagne color. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous because it's just a golden champagne, but it just gives off like beautiful light reflection right there. The chartreusey like green and darker green here are very pretty, and then these two bottom center shades are actually like a pressed glitter of sorts, but it's this really fine glitter. I've used it a couple times. I'm kind of so on it. I don't really care about the glitter too much, but the rest of the palette I really like, and definitely is a summer palette for me. Another Clarity Cosmetics palette, which I think goes so nicely with Evil Mermaid, is actually this Cobra palette here, and this one is their bigger pans. Looks like this, and it just has this beautiful like swampy dark. I mean, I think you could probably get away with this for like fall and winter too, but I love how like swampy and dark this is for summertime looks. I mean, you could make like a going out to the bar kind of a look with this palette. Very smoky, very blown out and dramatic. I think this would be stunning. So for me, definitely a summer palette. I'm really into like brights and greens and blues and purples for the summer. This one is the Odin's Eye and Angelic Nymphes Hella palette, which is hella pretty, of course, pun intended. I love the combination of the greens that you have here. You've got a row of pinks. You've got these kind of really dark smoky tones here. This metallic is like a beautiful blue to like an aubergine purple duochrome. And then you've got this very glittery black, which I love. And then this shade here is actually a multi-chrome. So I was so excited to get this palette and have this multi-chrome. This multi-chrome is so pretty. I mean, in direct light, you've got more of this like red orange, and then as you move indirect, you've got a yellow gold, more chartreuse, a green, and then just like a very borderline aqua kind of shade. Let me see. You might be able to pick it up there. But oh, it's so pretty in person. So if you are somebody that really likes the Kaleidos Space Age Odyssey multi-chrome highlighters, but you didn't want to spend all that money for like one product, think about getting this, because that actual shimmer multi-chrome that's in there is very similar to, I think it's the Prophecy highlighter, the one that's like orange to yellow to green. Very pretty. And then the last one that I'll show you guys today is the Nomad Cosmetics Paradise Islands palette, and it looks like this. It is a palette of all kinds of bright, beautiful colors. It's got some colors that definitely lean a little bit softer, like more pastel here, but then you've got some brights for sure. And I love these kind of like cooler tone shades here at the bottom. I think you can do so much with this, and this definitely screams like grab me a cocktail with a little umbrella kind of thing. Poolside, this is where I'm at. And I think that is everything for this video. You guys are going to have to let me know, what palettes do you have in your collection that screams summertime for you, that give you this summertime vibes. I definitely want to know. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and I'm going to catch you in my next video.